costs $7.
It's
Why is
called
that?
$7. So my goal was to play in the NFL, but that didn't happen for me. I went up to the Canadian Football League. I played up there.
Yeah.
I said, God, let me see how much money I got. I pulled out my wallet. I opened it up. I took out a 5, a 1, and change. And that's why we have 7.
For years, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, looked untouchable. From sold-out WWE arenas to owning the box office, everything about his rise felt flawless. He didn't just win, he took over every space he stepped into. The hits kept stacking, the money kept flowing, and his name became impossible to ignore. But then the vibe started shifting. That perfect image, the discipline, the grind, the nonstop positivity began to feel a little too polished, like every move was planned, every moment controlled, every win protected. At 6'5", he didn't just fill the screen, he dominated it. On and off camera, it was the same energy. Heavy workouts, big speeches, charity moments, millions watching what looked like pure success. But behind that smile and those wins, questions were already building. People started whispering about another side. Rumors of tension on set, quiet clashes, creative issues. Insiders hinted the friendly image didn't always match reality, and that caused real problems behind the scenes. Critics started catching on to something that felt off. Every time The Rock stepped into a major franchise, the spotlight somehow shifted straight to him. People noticed a pattern, joining big series, then slowly reshaping them to revolve around his character. Some even pointed out moments where he seemed to tweak details in public, possibly steering how the story played out. Then came that unexpected appearance at the 2025 Venice Film Festival. It turned heads fast. Suddenly, people started asking bigger questions. What's really going on behind that perfectly built image? To really get it, you have to go back to 2011, when he joined Fast and Furious. Fans were hyped. The franchise was already stacked, but adding him made everything louder and more intense. His character, Luke Hobbs, hit the screen like a tank and instantly stood out. Some fans even said he helped push the series to a whole new level. But behind the scenes, the story wasn't so smooth. Insiders started hinting at tension, late arrivals, missed appearances, and delays that stressed out entire crews. And with movies this big, even small issues can spiral fast. Then came the moment that took everything public in a major way. In 2016, The Rock dropped an Instagram post that blew up instantly, then disappeared just as fast. He praised the women on set, but switched up quick and called out some male co-stars in a way nobody expected. My female co-stars are always amazing and I love them. My male co-stars, however, are a different story. Some conduct themselves as true professionals while others don't. The ones that don't are too chicken to do anything about it. Candy asses. The internet went wild, turning into full detective mode. Most people pointed straight at Vin Diesel, especially since tension rumors were already floating around. Vin didn't react right away, keeping things calm during filming. Later, he addressed it in interviews, saying, "My approach at the time was a lot of tough love to assist in getting that performance where it needed to be. We had to get there, and sometimes I could give a lot of tough love." That didn't really clear anything up, it just made things feel deeper. Fans started noticing small signs, like The Rock avoiding Vin's name and the energy between them feeling off. This wasn't just a small clash anymore. It started looking like a battle over control and spotlight inside a massive franchise.
Rock and Vin Diesel couldn't be on set at the same time. They hate each other so bad. They had to shoot different scenes and like shoot it so it looked like someone was there. They hate each other so much.
Didn't the Rock gotten a big thing with Tyrese too, right?
Tyrese just flipping out because like all he has is Fast and Furious.
Really?
So that when the Rock did a spinoff, he's like, "How dare you? We're a family." Rock was like, "No, we're not.
Well,
They gave me a
wasn't it
spinoff, dumbass."
But remember when The Rock was shitting on his music?
That was fantastic.
That guy, you know what he does? He just goes to the gym
The Rock
with 2 hours sleep.
a lot of steroids.
You
Yeah.
think?
Joe,
Do you really?
you think he's getting big like that from cocaine again?
Cocaine again? He used to do cocaine?
No, I'm saying the John.
Fast and Furious was built on loyalty and family, led by Vin Diesel. But once The Rock stepped in, the focus slowly shifted. And when things didn't go his way, a major move dropped in 2017. A surprise spin-off announcement that caught longtime fans off guard. The spotlight narrowed down to just 2 names: Luke, Hobbs and Deckard Shaw, played by Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham. That spin-off, Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, hit fast, and the reaction split fans right down the middle. Some were excited for bigger action and wild moments, but others felt the franchise was drifting away from what made it special. Tyrese Gibson didn't stay quiet either. He jumped online and said, "Congratulations to The Rock for making the Fast and Furious franchise about you." That line spread everywhere and hit hard. The Rock fired back, even taking a shot at Tyrese's music career, turning the whole thing into another viral moment. Despite all the tension, the movie still made serious money, over $700 million worldwide on a $200 million budget. Clearly, audiences were still tuned into his action-heavy style. But numbers don't mean everyone was happy. Longtime fans felt the movie pushed way too far from its roots. The street racing and family vibe took a backseat, replaced by over-the-top sci-fi action. A cyber-enhanced villain lifting vehicles like nothing? That had people raising eyebrows fast. On top of that, non-stop jokes and one-liners filled almost every scene. Some liked it, but others said it felt more like a flashy cartoon than the grounded story they started with. The tone shift was impossible to ignore, and fans made sure their voices were heard. It all came down to the reputation The Rock was building. People started noticing a pattern. When he joined a project, he didn't just play a role, he took over the spotlight. Some trace that mindset back to WWE, where protecting your image is everything. Look weak, and your status drops fast. Reports say that mentality followed him into Hollywood. Rumors began about a rule in his contracts. His characters couldn't lose fights or take heavy hits on screen. At first, it seemed like smart branding, but when fans saw the pattern repeat across movies, questions popped up fast. Directors and writers reportedly had to reshape fight scenes and scripts just to keep him on top. And fans noticed comments like, "You can tell that's in The Rock's contract," or "He's gonna win anyway, makes the movies boring," started spreading across the internet. What once felt inspiring, rising from $7 to an empire, began to feel controlled. That unstoppable image started looking carefully managed, like every move was designed to protect perception. Then it hit a new level when he entered the superhero world. Fans were hyped for Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam. Energy, presence, everything seemed perfect, but the same questions about control and perfection started creeping back into the conversation.
Black Adam has all the powers of Superman, but Superman won't kill because he has a code of honor and a code of ethics, which we appreciate and love, but Black Adam will kill you.
Behind the scenes, reports suggested The Rock wasn't just interested in a role, he wanted the DC universe built around him. Instead of blending into the story, signs were everywhere. He kept highlighting Black Adam's power, comparing him to other heroes, and even teasing a showdown with Superman. It wasn't subtle. It screamed center of attention. He celebrated bringing back Henry Cavill for a surprise Superman cameo, getting fans hyped, but insiders claimed Warner Brothers hadn't fully signed off on that direction, and tension grew over where the DC story should actually go next. For a moment, it looked like The Rock might reshape the entire superhero franchise, but then the box office numbers came in. Black Adam earned around $390 million worldwide on a $260 million budget, but in blockbuster terms, that's not a win. With marketing and distribution costs, studios usually need close to 3 times the budget just to break even. Suddenly, the plan didn't look so solid, and the conversation about his influence got louder.
The reason or the reasons for the stopping of Black Adam?
I think that Black Adam got caught in a vortex of new leadership.
The unstoppable momentum he'd built for years started feeling less guaranteed. Fans noticed too. Many said they couldn't connect with the character. while others joked it felt like Dwayne Johnson just playing himself in a lightning bolt suit. The backlash spread fast, adding more pressure to the already shaky DC universe. Eventually, the studio hit reset, bringing in Peter Safran and James Gunn to take control and rebuild the whole direction. But The Rock wasn't stepping back quietly. He publicly shared projections, claiming Black Adam could still turn a profit. Our film will profit between $52 million to $72 million at almost $400 million worldwide. The statement grabbed attention, but critics pushed back hard, pointing out it ignored huge marketing and distribution costs. To many, it didn't read as confidence. It felt like damage control. Meanwhile, new DC leadership made it clear Black Adam was no longer the center of the universe. The Rock's big superhero vision hit a wall. But losing that ground didn't stop him from staying in the spotlight. In 2024, he teamed up with Chris Evans for the holiday action film Red One, meant to prove he could still pull audiences in. But as production rolled, behind-the-scenes reports raised eyebrows. Insiders claimed The Rock was showing up hours late, forcing crews to reshuffle shooting schedules. Some days, he allegedly didn't show at all, causing delays that could have cost the studio millions in reshoots and last-minute changes. The image of constant control and perfection suddenly started showing cracks. Then came one of the strangest stories from the set, and it spread fast. A crew member claimed that instead of leaving to use the restroom, The Rock would sometimes use water bottles and have someone else dispose of them. Wild, right? The story gained traction because he joked about something similar in past interviews.
Seen before on the market in a training shoe, and I just realized you just saw my big bottle of a pee. Look, I go hardcore when I train. I don't have time to go to the bathroom. I find a bottle, I pee in it, and I keep training like a bee.
Studio reps quickly pushed back, saying the claims were exaggerated and that everything on set was handled professionally. Still, rumors about lateness and scheduling problems had followed him for years, so fans didn't fully dismiss it. By the time filming wrapped, people were already talking, and then the numbers came in. The budget reportedly jumped from $200 million to nearly $250 million, a massive increase for any production. On top of that, the release got delayed almost a full year, moving from December 2023 to November 2024, usually a red flag for behind-the-scenes issues. When Red One finally hit theaters, the results didn't match the investment. It brought in about $189 million worldwide, well below what a movie of that scale needed to succeed. For someone whose career had always been linked to blockbuster wins, it marked a tough moment. The Rock had built a reputation as a hardworking, dependable star, but with these reports stacking up, more fans started questioning if that image matched reality. The gap between perception and truth was getting harder to ignore. As his career evolves, one thing is clear: The Rock isn't just an actor anymore. He's a full-on business brand, and every move carries massive weight. A huge part of that brand has always been his insane physique.
Make a film called Lizard Music, which is based off of a novel written by Daniel Pinkwater. And the role that I will play is a very whimsical and eccentric 70-something-year-old man called the Chicken Man. And his best friend is a 70-something-year-old chicken.
The reason for all his weight loss is he's going to be starring in a new movie called Lizard Music, where he plays a 70-year-old man whose best friend is a chicken.
That muscular build has been his signature since wrestling, and fans respected the discipline it took to maintain it year after year. He didn't just ride the attention, he leaned into it. Social media exploded with gym sessions, intense workouts, and non-stop motivation. Every post pushed hard work, focus, and next-level consistency, drawing millions into his fitness world. That lifestyle turned into serious business moves, fitness clothing lines, gym gear, and eventually his tequila brand, Terramana. Forbes even called it one of the fastest-growing celebrity alcohol brands, proving his influence was massive. But over time, the perception started shifting. fans felt less inspired and more marketed to. Critics said his posts felt like one long ad. Every speech, every workout tied to a product. Then came the moment that really got people talking. He promoted a hair care product, despite being famously bald. Even his physique started facing scrutiny, with some questioning if maintaining that level of muscle in his 50s was completely natural. The Rock's image as the unstoppable, pure inspiration wasn't as untouchable as it once seemed. Then an old 2009 MTV interview resurfaced, where The Rock admitted he had experimented with steroids at 18. The clip went viral again, sparking questions about how he maintained such an extreme physique for so long. Small moments added fuel too. For instance, in 2017, he posted about trying In-N-Out Burger for the first time. Fans immediately questioned it. Then in 2022, he mentioned trying it again as if it were new, and a year later called it his first ever experience in another video. People noticed the contradictions, called him out, and he quietly edited the captions, laughing it off. But the cracks in his image were starting to show. Backlash hit again in 2023 after Maui wildfires. The Rock teamed up with Oprah to promote a relief fund. The cause was good, but critics argued that seeing two wealthy celebrities asking everyday people for donations felt off.
We're so concerned about what was happening in Maui, and so we have created the People's Fund of Maui that will put money directly in the hands of the people who need it right now. So if you send a donation, just click where you see below and send a donation. That money is going to go to one of many residents who have been displaced in.
Online criticism grew loud fast. He eventually released an apology video to calm the storm and revealed he had already donated $5 million himself. Even positive efforts now carried scrutiny, showing that the perfectly crafted image he'd spent years building was facing serious pressure. Many felt his Maui move spoke for itself, and an apology wasn't really needed. But it showed just how carefully The Rock manages his public image when things go sideways. Then in January 2024, he shook the entertainment world again by returning to WWE. But this time, not just as a wrestler. He joined the board of directors, gaining serious power behind the scenes, and teased a possible return to the ring. Fans were hyped at first, but excitement quickly turned to frustration when a storyline started building toward a match with Roman Reigns. Suddenly, fan favorite Cody Rhodes seemed pushed aside. Social media erupted with #CodyDeservesBetter, accusing The Rock of stealing the spotlight from someone who had worked for years to earn it. The backlash got so intense that WWE had to adjust the storyline. In the end, Cody Rhodes reclaimed the spotlight and defeated Roman Reigns for the championship. But the episode added another layer to the ongoing conversation about The Rock. Does his presence always shift the spotlight more than expected? Even through the highs and the wins, questions about influence and control kept following him. One thing has always stayed consistent about The Rock: his unreal physical presence. Even in his 50s, he still looked like he could step straight into a wrestling ring without missing a beat. That larger-than-life build has been a core part of his identity for decades. But in September 2025, everything changed during his appearance at the Venice Film Festival. Fans noticed something different immediately. His massive physique looked smaller and leaner, and it caught everyone off guard. Reports quickly spread that he had dropped over 50 pounds of muscle, sparking a huge online conversation. Some praised the change, saying he looked healthier and less locked into a superhuman image. Others questioned if there were health concerns or major changes to his routine. He later explained it was all for new acting roles, adjusting his fitness for different characters, but after years of controversies and rumors, it felt like more than just a physical change. It marked a real turning point. The once unstoppable image started to crack, and once fans begin questioning a star's image, holding it all together becomes a different kind of battle. The real test now isn't box office numbers, It's whether he can reconnect with the people who once saw him as the true people's champion. If you've been following this story, you know it's far from over. Hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to see how The Rock's journey unfolds next.